All right, guys, welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me if you've made it live. If not, hello on the replay. You're also so very, very welcome. I have just to get us started, pulled a little card from the Spirit Animal deck. So literally just jumped out. So I was like, of course it did. Of course it did. Porcupine Spirit, guys. Porcupine Spirit. It says, time for beginner mind. When Porcupine Spirit calls your name, you're being asked to adopt a beginner's mind and to approach situations with innocence and curiosity. The old confining stories no longer have a hold on you. Life is full of surprises hiding in plain sight. Looking at the world afresh with new eyes can help you find what you've been seeking, whether it is a relationship, an opportunity, or evidence that you have all that you need right now to co create what you desire. Who knew? Porcupine asks you to be playful and have a childlike curiosity. There's so much waiting for you that you have yet to discover, which I just thought was absolutely brilliant considering what we're going to be doing today, guys. All right, okay, so I am going to bring the slides up. We got a lovely, lovely agenda to go through. So let me just get those. I would love to know well, I'd just love to invite everybody to always use this chat box. Anyone, you guys that have been with me before know that, the way to make these sessions even more powerful is using that chat box. At the end, there will be time to unmute and chat and get coached if you need it. But I do ask you to leave that to the end just so that we can go through the flow. All right. Let me bring the chat box up. All right. Oh, that's an early morning for you, isn't it, Jen? Okay, we got all time zones signed up. That's the thing. Oh, bless you. Well, I will make sure that we get you super activated for an amazing day. I know we got evening, we got morning, and we got middle of the night. Okay, I didn't come this far to only come this far. Obviously, that is our mantra. Ah, brilliant. Yeah, Southern Hemisphere. I love it. I love the fact that we managed to get all time zones on. Amazing. Respect to you all, guys. And I know there's all heaps of you will be watching the replay. Okay, let's just take a breath. I want you to just really, in your head, in your body, I didn't come this far to only come this far. Like, I've already come quite far, pretty epic. I'm proud of myself, and I'm available for more. That is what today is about. It's called the March decision, but it's about deciding what am I working towards next? Give yourself something to aim towards. All right, so which person are you? Let me just keep an eye on where am I at. Right, okay. Which person are you? So if things are good, living what maybe used to be a dream,
Yeah.
and let me just make sure everyone's muted. And but know that you're meant for more, right? Mute all. Or things are not feeling that great, right? I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm lacking clarity. I just feel a bit meh at the moment, okay? Either way, and let me know if you do resonate with either of those. Either way, you need your next thing to aim for. We all know how different we feel when we're like, that is what I'm zoned in on. That is my North Star. That's the direction I'm heading in. And it just makes it makes decisions easier. It removes so much of the unnecessary busy, right? And this one always hits me. It hit me when I was like 20 years old, and that was me going, right, I'm going off traveling around the world on my own because nobody wants to come with me. And if I don't do it, I'm going to regret it. 20 years from now, you're going to be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did. So today, holding space for the fact that it might not feel easy, it is a little bit scary, but we are still going to be bold today and choose our next direction. Because 4,000 weeks, guys, that is what they say is the average amount of weeks that we live, right? So just a little bit of reality check. The best way to get busy living is to give yourself something bold to aim for. And so today we are going to go through, this is your agenda, right? The pre-work. So if you've been to sessions before, you'll know we're going to kind of dip in and out of parts of the Meant for More methodology so that you can then identify your next direction or bold goal or recommit to the one that you're already working on, because I know some of you guys have got bold goals with me. And then we're going to do a quick EFT tap at the end, very short, just to like embody that, right, I am up for this. Here's my goal. Off I freaking go. Right. And I say, that's it. No biggie, because choosing your bold goal is quite a big deal. And even I'm excited because I've got my bold goal, but I'm like, I know what happens when you give yourself something like this to aim for. Um, yeah, really good, interesting, isn't it? When we just stop and reflect where we are. I'm actually in A in parts of my business, but B when I think about the bit that I really want to go for. Yeah, the Wild and Wilds business. Yeah. And notice that, right? Let's really just like, yeah, observe. So what sparked this, what sparked the whole everything that I actually stand for and do, is that every time I feel on fire, completely alive, is when I've got something meaningful to aim for, right? And every time my business or my health thrives, it's when I go all in on something. And most of us, if we were honest, never really gone all in, or we don't often go all in because we want to be able to say if it didn't work, well, I didn't give it my all. Does anybody resonate with that? What a crazy way to approach our dreams, right? Well, I used to do that for sure. Now I'm like, it doesn't matter. You set the goal, it's not about achieving it, it's all this amazing stuff that happens on the way. Right, definitely A, definitely a bit of B. Yeah, exactly. We're going to dip in and out of it all. Um, so yeah, are we? Yeah, like, I'm speaking to the people that are already all in and like, yeah, I'm here. But like, unmotivated me is just me without a goal or a dream. And this is my mate Emma here. We often say to each other, "I'm not prepared." Oh, we don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. It's not something I'm prepared to do anymore. That is a choice that I'm not willing to make. Right? It is a choice. If I'm unmotivated because I haven't got a goal or a dream that I care about, that's meaningful, that activates me, that's my choice, and I'm not going to do that to myself, right? Hopefully that lands. We don't do doubt anymore. Exactly. Yeah. We don't do doubt anymore. So me, if you haven't been to any of my live sessions before, like I said, get in the chat box, use the energy. I will bounce off of that. Yes, I have an agenda. Yes, we can go off track. You will get what you need. But right, I've been in this business for almost 14 years. So in June it will be 14 years. Started as a productivity coach, realized productivity tools are kind of irrelevant and don't change, don't help us if you don't also look at all the other things, right? Which is why the Meant for More methodology expanded. I built a scalable life first business. You guys that follow me know. I think I had like 14 mini breaks last year. Uh-oh, be careful what you wish for, right? Creative Meant for More methodology, which was created because I needed it. And I've just been sharing it I just share what I need along the way. And it resonated and brought this beautiful community of global rock stars, right? When we're all practicing being an example of what is possible when you use the Meant for More methodology. And that basically the big overview of it is vision. You need to know where you're heading, mindset, become someone who does what it takes to make it happen. The strategy part is decide on your how, like how are you going to achieve the vision, the goal, and then the action is the taking action, the reviewing, the tweaking, the taking more action. It is not a circle that you start step one, step two, step three. It is a spiral, and you will dip in and out of. You guys that work with me know that some of you need to go back to vision. Some of you are focused on the action piece. We're all in and out of different parts of it. And this workshop is in celebration of 100 Days of Bold, which is currently open for enrollment again, brand new today. Some of you, right, I don't hold back in these sessions, right? Some of you are going to want to implement what we go through today with me over the next 100 days. And some of you are going to be like, thank you, I got my goal, I'm off, right? Either is absolutely fine. You're always welcome. I want to give you what you need. And I know that I trust that the right people are being like, yeah, let's do this together. You're far too smart to be the only thing standing in your way. I realize that I cannot do a presentation without like quotes and things in there because they deliver a punch, don't they? We guys are far too smart to be the only thing standing in our way. Yet really, for most of us, we're the only thing standing in our way, right? And one of the ways we do that, is by not deciding on what our next thing is. So we're going to import, it's a super important word. We're going to do it today. It's going to bring clarity. It brings momentum, decisions. Decide now, clarity will follow. Don't wait for clarity. You can't think your way to clarity, right? You're going to pick the goal, then clarity will come. And honestly, this is a very exciting concept when I watch it in action. So I want to ask you, when you think about goals that you've set before, what zone do you normally set them in? So I've kind of put a few out here. See if you kind of resonate, or even just like lovingly call yourself out. Um, Too easy. So we set the goal in a comfort zone. It's not going to challenge you to grow. Not meaningful enough, like you don't care about it. You saw someone on the internet say you should aim for 1 million, so off you go, and you're going to procrastinate. It's got no why attached to it. Not clear, not going to take action because we don't really know. Unrealistic, or what we call the delusional zone. It's very easy to lose momentum there. Or bold, which is the discomfort zone, admittedly, but this is what the sweet spot is. It stretches you, but it is achievable. And I have been practicing my own version of learned lots about goal setting, also with all my clients as well, for 12 years. So there is a lot of there's a lot of research that's gone into this. Bold goals are the sweet spot. Okay. So yeah, let me know, like normally, like not clear. Okay, hello, my friend. Not clear. Yeah, I mean that's why really we're all here today, isn't it? It's like not clear, then we don't take action, right? And again, when we go back to that saying before, it's like that unmotivated me. It's just me without clear direction. I'm not prepared to do that to myself anymore, which is why we're going to give ourselves direction today, right? Smart goals, they're going to check boxes. Bold goals, change your life. I'm in the bold zone. Yes, you are. Mix of not clear and unrealistic. Not clear and somewhat delusional. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the internet that's told us to be delusional. And it doesn't, for most of us, it's only activating for a short period of time. Now, I want to be very clear here. Bold does not mean big. It doesn't have to mean big. It means bold. It's like, and guys, actually, let me know, what does bold mean to you? Because I always ask this, and it's really interesting. Because it's about, it's being brave, it's being courageous. It doesn't mean big. It means bold. It means chasing, giving myself everything I want. It is bold to say, yeah, I want something different, right? What does bold mean for you? Because that is important when you're setting your goal. And I'm going to share bold stretches me. Yeah. How freaking exciting is that? I mean, I know I'm talking, I know Andrea, and I know we have multiple conversations about personal growth and how exciting it is, because what a brilliant adventure it is to be somebody that's fascinated with personal growth. Then we do this and we can then look at it differently when we come across the obstacles and the challenges, which of course we will. So, my thoughts on bold goals, I'm going to just go through this because I want it to just kind of make sure it kind of lands for you. So, excuse the presentation, but let's read these out actually. I always think of being a Charlie's Angel when I think of bold, confident, action taking, determined, sassy. Yes, I love it. Bold makes me fidget because it's outside of my comfort zone. Yes, Lucy, yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, yeah. That's exactly what we want. We want that in you. Gives me focus too. Yeah. Really, really cool word, right? Every time my offerings have always been really the same way that I support people. But I changed the name up because I want to change the energy. And we've had bold for like a year and a half. And I'm loving it, right? It is bold to set a bold goal and see what we're made of, see what we're capable of, ask a little bit more from ourselves, but in a really, really expansive, uh, judgment-free zone, right? I've just drawn a stick figure wearing a cape in my journal. Yes, I love it. This is why I'm always like, guys, bring your journal, because some of you are gonna like draw all this amazing stuff. Okay, a bold goal is not something that you feel that you should do. Okay, not going to achieve it if you want. It stretches you out of your comfort zone at the same time as feeling exciting. It will require bold action, a bit of courage. The kind of goal makes you push past your fears. It makes you take leaps, shows up in ways that and show up in ways that you might not have done before. And a bold goal requires change. The process of working towards it is going to bring this personal growth. It's how we grow and evolve as humans. It's what we're meant to do. We're not meant to stay in one place. Most people are going to set a goal because they want to achieve the goal, and that is not really the point. So when you're thinking about your goal, I'll talk you through my bold goals as well. Like the current ones, no, I haven't achieved it yet. It doesn't matter. It's not about the achieving it. You'll learn that on the way as we talk through it, right? This is about looking at your entire life. We're going to zoom out today. We're going to think about your values. We're going to think about the different areas of your life, and we're going to be like using goals to make you live much more purposefully. Like that's bold. That is bold because the society didn't tell us that we could do it like that. And working towards it is going to give your mind something to focus on, right? Because we know our minds like to keep us right where we are. And that is the thing, right? It's really hard to have a low opinion of yourself when you're actively working towards something. Try it. I have been trying it. I'm the girl that's full of self-doubt, and this really does work, right? And most people don't set bold goals because they don't want to feel disappointed if it doesn't work out or they fall short. What I really now found from my experience is that you change your life by setting the goal, not by achieving it. And today you're going to feel that. You're really going to feel that. Setting it is going to make you see things differently. Um, yes, Claire said, because I'm living in bold zone, I see opportunities everywhere. It's so true. Like my bold guys at the moment, like we're in a current 100-day challenge. It is fascinating what is going on, the opportunities, because we've picked our head up, we put ourselves in this expansive kind of environment. Oh yeah. So I obviously 100-day got what my current 100-day bold goal is to write my book, right? Now, the reason it's bold is because I've tried to write this book for many, many years, and I always get to a certain place and then I stop. And then my mind gives me distractions like you must go and create a new course or but the thing is it is absolutely I'm in the middle of this. I'm in the middle of my bold goal right now. And what I'm doing is like, I'm curious, like, how will I get past the place that I normally get stuck at? So this is about like then having to look at the identity, who I'm being what I'm believing, watching myself distract, watching myself, yeah, procrastinate, etc. And oh, I mean, I've gone through all of that, Claire. Like, why do I want to? Why is it even a goal of mine anymore? Yeah, I just really want the methodology in a book so that I can say to anybody, you got to read this. If you like that, you're gonna, like that is the kind of thing that we do together. Like getting that, because this concept we've been working with clients for so long and it's so powerful. I want it in a book. I want to be people to be able to read it and be like, oh my gosh, right? And it is requiring me to really look at who I'm being and what I'm, or how I'm showing up on a daily basis. But what it's also done, and this is the reason why I'm really doing this today, is oh my goodness, has it fired me up about my business, about my philosophies, about my concepts, about the Men for More method, because I'm having to go in and look at all my principles, concepts, all of that, and write about it and turn it into something that's useful. And it is just firing me up around wow. So it is activating me going towards the goal. And that's why when we set the right goal, guys, it does something to you. So we are step one, we're going to fire ourselves, right? Or you're going to give yourself a promotion. So let me explain. So I had to literally fire myself in January when I was like, this is the bold goal. I'm still going to avoid it and avoid it. So I was like, right, we're going to rehire ourselves in a different role in the company life, whatever. And her role is this, this, and this. And how she does it is this. Like that's the whole process of like setting protocols and things. But the question is, if you lived like the last 14 days for the rest of your life, where do you end up? Let's think about that. If you lived like the last 14 days for the rest of your life, where do you end up? And also, answering the question about why do you feel you need to write the book, I love giving myself something, like I know that to write that book, I've got to overcome some serious not good enough doubts, etc. Like that for me is just like what it's about. That's what the bold goal really is. Not at the same place, but maybe just a kilometre away, which is not cool. Yeah. If you live like the last 14 days for the rest of your life, where do you end up? I feel like I've been doing the cha-cha-cha, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Lots of self-awareness in the past several weeks. Yeah, so Olga's been is in the 100 days at the moment. And I mean, that's a brilliant explanation, isn't it? But cha-cha-cha is all right because you're still heading in the right direction. And the first bit is around watching ourselves not do the thing, right? Okay. So think about the last 2 months, your actions, your thoughts, your efforts. If the next 10 months looked exactly like the last two, would you be closer or further away from what you want? Lovingly, right? Judgment free. We're just here to be like, notice what we notice. Are we making life harder or easier for the version of us who wakes up in 6 months' time? So one of my favorite concepts that I talk about all the time, most of you are going to know it, is you are the problem, right? I know I'm the problem. I watch myself distract, avoid, etc. And the good news is that I'm also the solution, and I'm really, really happy about that. So, the ways that we can be the problem: perfectionism, procrastination, fear of not good enough, people pleasing, seeking external validation, one of my favorites, unable to make decisions, guys, we can't get away with that today, loads of ideas, so not picking one, confused, lacking clarity, overthinking, those are the ways that we get in our own way. Another way that we are often the problem is not giving ourselves something meaningful to show up for, something that we care about to show up for. And again, why we're here today. I would say closer and easier. I'm not where I want to be. However, I'm much clearer about why I'm not and what I need to do to keep building momentum. Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? Great. Right, so guys, you are who you decide you are. So today, you're going to decide to be the solution, and give yourself something bold to aim for, and then become the person who has the thoughts, the beliefs, the actions to achieve it. It is an amazing use of your life. Any of you that are chasing a bold goal right now will understand. I know, you know it, you're feeling it, right? It is incredible. I'm living this out right now. It is fascinating for me to have been shown why every part of the Men for More method exists whilst I'm trying to do something that I've struggled to do in the past. And it is just brilliant because I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's why I created that, or that's why that happened. So think about the last time you were focused on something, you had a specific goal or a dream. How did it feel? How focused were you? Like it's like suddenly everything lines up. Everything becomes different when we're like, oh yeah, right? Life feels better when I'm aiming at something because it forces me to focus on who I'm being, and I really like that. Um, yeah, momentum train. It feels great. So step one is give yourself a promotion, which is a bit like an identity upgrade. So I want you to create your alter ego, right? This is the version of you who sets bold goals. And we're going to think about her right now. So Beyonce has got, or she used to, I'm sure she doesn't need it anymore, right? But Beyonce's alter ego was Sasha Fierce. So she used to step into the energy of Sasha Fierce, then get on stage and then do her thing. So what is your version of that? Oh yeah, this is exciting because Olga's saying like also my health goal, which is one of my focus areas this year, it's not my bold goal, is going amazingly well. This is what happens, the ripple effect of setting the bold goal, because you have to look at, well, certainly the way that we do it is identity first. You have to look at who you're being. I think alignment is where I've missed before. The goal wasn't really mine. Yeah, I think that's what we all did. The internet did screw us up a bit there. It's also been absolutely amazing to show us what's possible, right? Okay, so imagine you're the author of your life. It's a good time to think of this because we are literally starting a brand new season of astrological year, also season change. So you're either stepping into spring or autumn. Think about this as a new chapter. What's the main character of the next chapter of my life? What is the main character? Right, if I'm the main character. So for me, she's called the Real Joe, and I think this is 12 years ago that the Real Joe landed. I still lived in England with my then boyfriend before I lit a match on it all. And yeah, I basically created the Real Joe. And the Real Joe is, I've had many identity evolutions since then. A lot of you have been and watched them, been part of it, yeah. She looks after herself. Like, it's a real big thing for me is it's so easy for me to not fuel myself well. So that's something that's really changed. I didn't used to be someone I can rely on, and I can now because of the strategies, or because of like constantly, again, we are just repetition, repetition, repetition. The Real Joe is bold. Like, she's not playing small. She's not thinking that she's not good enough. She's out there chasing her dreams, leading herself to her next more. And I often will say, when I'm in my own way, like, what would the Real Joe do? So that's my alter ego. And then she has these qualities, and I've got all this in front of me on my board, like like my word of the year, my bold goal, my qualities. So my qualities at the moment, bold. She makes her own rules. So I have, I have a sentence for all of these. Disciplined. She keeps her word to herself. Generous. She gives freely and abundantly. I love these. I live by these qualities. And then we bring this concept to life when we create what I call your personal operating system. So that's protocols and rules to live by. So those of you that are in the 100 days at the moment are already practicing your protocols, tweaking them as we check each week. And so thinking about that version of you, what are her protocols? What does she do differently? And this is like identity-led productivity. So rather than relying on motivation, discipline, willpower, right? We anchor every goal, every decision, every action to your behavior, which is your identity. And that's really what's evolved in my own, I was saying I've been productivity coaching for the start of the first sort of 5 years of my business, and was like, why is it not enough? Why are the tools not enough for us? And then really changed into this identity shifting way, which has changed my life. Now, identity shifting isn't like, right, I decide who I am and then I'm her. Of course it's not. And we're not aiming for 100%, right? We're going to try and aim for 50-50. Like 50% of the time I'm being the real Joe and 50% of the time I'm not. And then all of a sudden it will tip over to 51%, like 51% of being the real Joe. And then the scales tip. And then watch what happens. I'm her more than I'm not. And you guys that are working with me now in the 100 days will see that, and you know that you're different. That's what changes your results. That's what changes your life. Does that make sense? Okay, so bold goals demand more than motivation. They demand a system. That's why bold runs for 100 days, right? Long enough to break old patterns, long enough to build momentum, long enough to prove to yourself that you will follow through this time. So this is for you guys. Just take a minute, grab your pen, think about, right, I'm stepping into new identity, the version of me who sets her next bold goal and shows up for it. What's she called? What are her qualities? What does she believe? What does she do more of than you? What does she do less of than you? So we're going to take a minute and scribble that down. And I do keep going at a pace because I don't want you to overthink. Yeah, Lucy's saying, like, one of the problems right now is that I've been pigeonholed by people my whole life. Now I got to the point that I'm fed up with it. I won't tolerate it anymore. But there's still so much noise in my head, and I struggle to figure out who is Lucy without all of that noise. Yeah. Well, how lovely. Because the first stage is to be like, I don't do that anymore. I'm not available for that anymore. And then you start thinking, but what am I available for? It's just you turn the dial 1% and then another 1%. This is the journey now. It's not a quick click your fingers and you're done. But it's lovely. You keep it happens quickly as well when you decide. Stops being busy and gives herself more space for her own bold goal. I think that it's so important that all of us just acknowledge that busy is a strategy that we are used to using, which is no longer who we are, right? It doesn't really serve us. Oops. We're not used to prioritizing what we want. What are your three qualities? So mine are bold, disciplined, and generous. I love being generous with my tools and concepts. I want more people to use them. The version of me believes I can and I will. Watch me. I love that one. I love it. Olga, right. I'm a Charlie's Angel. I am kick-ass, courageous, fully self-expressed, fully loved up with myself and my body and my life. I trust myself. I believe in myself. I am enough just the way I am. I am worthy of a kick-ass life. Yes. Yes, yes, yeah. You should have that somewhere that you read it every day and be like, that's who I am. That's just who I am. And if that's who I am, what do I do today? When I think about my bold goal, when you think about your Wild and Wilds movement, that's the version of you who's going to lead it. smarter about how I go about things, intentional and unapologetic. Yeah. So let's get those words somewhere that you see them every day and you ask yourself, how can I be more intentional today? What would the unapologetic version of me do decide today? And you're just going to practice, practice, practice leading with these qualities. And it's about repetition. 3 character traits: open, curious, confident. Yeah. Courageous, fun, present. These are gorgeous, right? Isn't it amazing? Like, because we do work like this, don't we? And then we kind of forget about it, which is why I've got mine in front of me on the wall now. And it's like, oh yeah, what would it look like to be disciplined this week? Oh yeah. Just Jenny, love that. Open, willing to slow down. I don't have to help everyone. I can slow down to achieve more in my life. Very true. I do more for myself, less working night and day. 7 days a week, yes, ends now. We know that more hours does not equal more results. My sleep's definitely coming up. Yeah, a kick-ass Charlie's Angel is well rested. Yes, she is. Yeah, you can show up fully in your life. Yeah, exactly. You've got to prioritize it. Courageous, inspired, grounded. Yes, that's how I see you. That's who you are. Yeah. Cool, guys. Nice, isn't it? And you can, like, just notice how you're feeling. Notice how you're feeling, and you can, like, tap yourself back into this feeling just by, at any time of the day, stopping and reconnecting to those qualities, this version of you. She's always there. But of course, we forget that we literally, for those of you that were here at the start when we pulled the card, Porcupine Spirit, time for a beginner's mind, but it literally said, like, being open to ask you to be playful, be curious. You have all you need right now to co-create what you desire. She does no half work, that awful middle ground where one is not resting but not working either. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, why do we do that? Like, just allow ourselves to take the rest guilt-free, because we will, yeah, we want to be on. I have learned this lesson the hard way about being on or off. Yeah, like choosing. What am I no longer available for, right? In this beautiful energy of the identity upgrade, what am I no longer available here? What am I no longer available for? Olga, being tired, not prioritizing sleep. Everything is different when we sleep well. And I know that that's not always easy, especially our hormones and all the various things that can trip us up there. Okay, I'm going to keep things going. How else can you be the solution? So we think about, like, we're the problem, we know that. How else can we be the solution? Well, one way is the identity upgrade. Really thinking about the identity. What are her qualities? What's her behaviors? What's her protocol? What is her personal operating system? And being her more than you're not. Another way to be the solution is a vision of your future that lights you up, okay? So this is another part of the Meant for More method. Now, we're not going to dive into it today, but I'm going to whiz through just so that you understand it. But then anyone that works with me, we don't go like module 1, module 2. It is basically like, where are you at? What do you need? And I will, like, direct you to, hey, this is where I want you to dive in. But this is the vision for now concept. So many of my or so many people that I meet are like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what I want. I can't see the vision. So I'm going to invite you to think about the vision for now. Just the vision for now. So it doesn't have to be like the one right, perfect life purpose for me. It's just the vision for now is, and what does that look like? And this is, I'm going to whiz through a load of slides. This is me in Dubai, literally 14 years ago, I guess. No, longer than that. 15 years ago. When I was starting my business, and I was like, I want to build a location independent business. But I lived in the UK with a boy. Then this is me in Bali, where I had a match on my life, and was basically, yeah, working from anywhere in Bali. Then I was in Canada. I decided I wanted to be a speaker, so I was speaking on stage. Then I was just like, I want to just not be location independent, and I wanted a home, and I wanted to wake up and do a sunrise walk every morning. So this is 15-minute walk from my house. So I bought a place in Spain. Then I was like, I want to host masterminds. So that was my first one that I did in my house. This was my all-inclusive retreat that was also held in Malaga. We had a beautiful villa, did one-day events, right? If the vision was impossible, you never would have received it. So all of those things that when I wanted, I dreamt of them I was like, I don't know how I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. If the vision was impossible, you would never have received it. And we make these things happen. What if your dream isn't too big? What if it's too small for who you're becoming? So that's why we start with identity. Like, who am I now? What does she want? What does she want? Right. And again, I want to whiz through vision because I do want us to dive in and do some more of the work to get you your bold goal. But I really want you to know it is safe to want more. You are allowed to dream boldly because what you have, not because what you have isn't good enough, but because there's a version of you that you haven't yet met. So remember, we are allowed to love where we're at and be available for more. So there's a version of you haven't met yet. She's ready for even more. You're allowed to want to have more. You're allowed to dream big. So gratitude and ambition can coexist. This is what I had to learn. Like wanting more doesn't mean that you're ungrateful, that for what you've already got, which used to be your dream. It means you're growing, right? I now live. I mean, this has been my reality for many, many years, and I'm like, I'm allowed to be grateful for everything that past Joe achieved and want more, be available for more. So where do we downplay the dream because we're like got to be realistic or we've got to be grateful for what we've got, and what does that cost you for not going after what you really want? So just an FYI there, okay? So take a moment on the bench, the infamous bench, which we do have a little baby one here because it's really a part of the philosophy. Get yourself sat on the bench. I want you to just notice the breeze, perfect temperature, birds singing, lovely little waves lapping, and just thinking about if nothing changed, where would I be this time next year? And is that okay? And if I pick a bold goal and follow through and show up for it, where might I be this time next year? And just think about being on the bench and knowing that you picked it, you showed up for it. We don't know where it will lead yet. But what we do know is it will demand a version of us that doesn't get in her own way. She will do, but not 100% of the time. That's 51% being that version of you. That's all we're asking for. So we're deciding, we're here. Nothing changes, guys. All right, so next part is the reality check. But also, this is the bit before so that we can make sure that our bold goal is heading in the right direction so that it is meaningful. So all change is going to start with being honest. Where are we now? What needs our attention? So if you've done the Wheel of Life exercise before, basically we're going to take a minute and we're going to check in on what areas matter to me. And where am I at in those? And I know some of you have got very different challenges that are, let's focus on what we can control in this area. Okay. So the way that you do it is you're basically going to pick 4 to 6 areas of life that are important for you. And then you're going to mark them out of 10. 10 is being like, this area is absolutely thriving, is exactly what I want it to be. So I'm going to put a couple of suggestions here, but you get to pick your categories. I think I'm going to have another slide on this, so I'll just whiz through. And the idea is you pick your categories and then you give them a mark out of 10. And then if you're, yeah, okay, let's do that. These are just example categories. So I want you to just pick anything between sort of 4 and 6. Things that are in areas that are important. We're just focusing on the next 100 days. So first of all, at the moment, we are giving them a mark out of 10. Where are they at right now? Do it with you. So what will happen is if this was, I mean, traditionally this is a coaching exercise that's normally a wheel. And if you could see that each of these areas was part of, one of your life categories. And the idea is that, if there's areas that are not thriving, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. If this is a car and this is your wheel, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. And so, of course, most of us will have an uneven wheel because it's called being a human. So when you think about your scores, and just give you time to just do a bit of journaling here, think about the scores that you've picked, your areas that matter to you. What are you tolerating? What needs to change? And what are you currently ignoring? And again, just let's focus on the things that we can control because I know some things are out of our control in some of these areas. So much good information comes from this little session of answering. All right, guys. Gonna keep going. Hopefully, the reason we're doing this is because when we start thinking about our bold goal, there's some stuff you would have noticed here. Then you've got a choice then around like, what am I, what do I want to prioritize or focus on? So if you think about the next 100 days, if you could only pick like two or three categories, which ones would you pick to focus on? And again, like this is something we'll go deeper into when we work together. Is like you really like I basically pick my categories. Have I got it on here? Or have I taken it out? Yeah. So I have my categories, and then each of them has, like basically the strategy that I'm going to use to focus on that. So I write what I want it to be, and then each of them have got like right, we'll do this, we do this, we do this. But for our sake of today, when we're like focusing on like let's choose our bold goal, yeah. Now you've done what I would say is enough pre-work to have given you enough kind of awareness to be able to decide, right, this is the thing I'm going to focus on next. This is the thing I'm going to focus on next. I'm just going to check in. How are we feeling? How did you find that exercise? Clearer. Yeah, cool. Yeah, me too. Even like I said, I know that this goes at quite a pace, but we don't want to stop and overthink it. That's why buzzing. Yes, it is amazing, isn't it? Seeing what I'm tolerating was really insightful. Yeah, me too. I love it. I'm like, and like as we said right at the start, I'm not prepared to do that to myself anymore. Right? Me of 3 months' time needs me to not do that anymore. I'm going to do that for her. Yeah, and again, we're focusing on what we can control. Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? When you just take time to stop and be like, okay, it's so simple, so good. I can see how doing the work with you at the start of the year has really improved my scores this time. Love it. Yes, this is why, like, guys, if you any of you like the business owners that are watching, I'm like, I've had to like simplify and simplify my process so much, remove so many slides from my masterclasses because I want to give you everything and then you basically are overwhelmed. But it's on repeat. We got to keep coming back and doing these things because then we can see what's different. I'm constantly, yeah, I love that you shared that because same as me, I look back and I'm like, okay, what's different? Well, I know what I chose to focus on in the first 3 months. And then I can see whether I did or not, and again, that's just like no judgment, just great information. Right, final step is decide. Simplify has been my number one importance and it's been where it's so underrated as a strategy. It was my word last year and I finally came in hot at the end and was like, all right then. And now, like literally, the bold 100 days thing is simple on repeat, and that's why it's getting results. So like everyone is learning so much, and in so much momentum, and like you guys were saying, every area of life benefits. Yeah. So let's decide. So we're going to this is about set yourself a type of goal that will make something of you to achieve. So if we think back to, right, the goal is then it requires the identity shift. Who am I? What is my personal operating system to be able to achieve this goal, which is better than relying on motivation or, time blocking our way through something that we're not going to do. So if we think about what we just did, what is the one area where you're going for real growth next? Do you know? Is it very obvious to you what one area you want to focus on setting a goal in? from the categories that you just scored. It's so hard to keep things simple. Yeah. I feel I need to peel away more layers. Yeah. So basically, this will automatically happen as you go. So you can set your goal today. Pick an area, trust yourself, pick an area, set the goal. It doesn't matter if in a week's time you're like, oh, I've just noticed something, I need to change it. Setting the goal will like create something, it does something that will give you more clarity than you can get by saying, well, I'm not quite sure yet. It's really fascinating. Now, some of you will want to grow in and improve in multiple areas, okay? And again, this is something that I went deep into in the Plan 2026 event, but we have something called supporting goals. So I have my main goal, but I've also got my supporting goals. So the bold goal is about growth, transformation, change, creating change in an area. The supporting goals are what will support you through the growth. Okay. So you think about your supporting goals as systems, habits, standards. They're not transformation projects. So writing the book is my transformation project. But I have health goals that are habit based to allow me to be in the best place, to be who I need to be to show up for the bold goal. So bold goal is stretch and grow. Requires becoming somebody new, or not new, but like, yeah, removing all of the stuff. Bit scary and takes up energy, right? Your supporting goal is habit systems, keeps other areas thriving. Think about your wheel. We want it to be a little bit more rounded. And they kind of run in the background. This is more like your operating system. So today we're focusing on the bold goal, one that ideally you can achieve in the next 100 days. Now, this is personal for you, but like I have running in the background a longer term goal. But the thing is, you kind of run out of steam. So then we start setting these 100-day goals, and you can really see momentum. So, what could you achieve in the next 100 days in one area? Other thing is boundaries, and oh my God, what a difference this projector Pisces is quietly excited about the future. My bold goal is being my quiet, knowing self instead of trying to be what everyone thinks I should be. Yes. And what does she do differently? Yeah, love it. Focusing on who we're being. All right, so the thing we're going to do is I'm going to suggest, if you don't already know, like there will be a percentage of you that are like, I know exactly what my bold goal is, and I can no longer ignore that or avoid it. And some of you will be like, I don't know what it is. So I want you to, those of you that don't know, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a brain dump, thinking about the exercises that we've just gone through, and you're going to write out. Here's an example, maybe 3 that scare you, 3 that excite you, 3 that will make future you proud. Maybe there's a wild card that you throw in. And you're going to think about if you could only move the needle in one area of your life in the next 90, 100 days, which would create the most positive ripple effect. So we know we focus on this, it impacts other areas of our lives. Like you're never that is reality. With the benefit, the positive ripple in other areas of our life when we pick one goal is amazing. Which goal, if you achieved it, will make you become, would you be most proud of who you became to achieve it? What goal would require you to step into the version of you that you most want to be? And then I say, right, your real goals are a message from future you asking you to step up and be the person you need to be to get there. So I know that my like focusing on my, being the version of me who fuels herself, moves her body, like really prioritizes these things. I want to be that me. So thinking about my bold goal for 2025 was help 100 people set and achieve their next bold goal. Now, I've been coaching people, this is an old presentation, but like, I've been coaching people for over 11 years. Helping people is easy for me, right? It's my zone of genius. You get in my containers, I know how to support you. What I have to learn to be able to achieve the 100 people goal, which you can see is not big. I'm not trying to get million, I'm trying to get 100. It's very doable, right? That's why it's bold, it's not big. It's basically, I've got to learn how to be a marketer. I've got to learn how to own the transformation that my work facilitates. That's not easy for me, right? But that is what will allow me to achieve the bold goal. So then I have to experiment with different messaging, different positioning. That's why it's bold. It's not like I can get 10 people, off I go, but it's stretchy enough, but it's achievable. So I am at now 59 people towards the 100. So this is still a goal that's running in the background. Um, My current 100-day goal is to write the book, sharing the Meant for More concepts. It's challenging, haven't done it before. I've set the goal many times. It is something that I'm just curiously like, how can I get myself to do this? Right. And I'm really in it, watching myself avoid, watching myself believe, right? 59 out of 100 is amazing. I know, right? It is, it is amazing. But this is just reality. This is over a year trying to do it. And it's just because obviously there's many other things that are going on. Hello, perimenopause. Also, hello, falling in love and going on 14 mini breaks in a year. Okay, other people's opinions about your goal do not matter. So we're going to brainstorm now. Okay, guys, do your brainstorm. Stay focused on the life categories that we talked about, because this is about setting a goal that's meaningful, that matters, that will impact you. How's it going? So you're probably either getting loads of ideas down or struggling to get any suggestions about how to discover the wild card. Just don't even, it's just like put it there. If something comes, great. If not, don't worry about it. So what is the stepping into the CEO position is the strategy. What's the actual goal? I mean, a wild card might be trained to run half marathon. You'd be like, oh, where did that come from? Anyone else want to share what a potential wild card is for them? Because again, it's going to be so personal. So where are we at? Yeah, let's pick our gold team. This is the bold move. This is the bold move that you're here to make. Don't overthink it. You can change your mind, but pick the one that feels exciting, that's going to help you shake up who you're being on a daily basis and what you believe. It's bold. Think about which one will benefit future you in 100 days' time. We have money goals, we have weight loss goals, we have house goals like buying a new house. Trying to think what else we've got. Second home, savings goals. Wildcard is sought after inspirational international speaker. When it came out, it seemed so wild, but it's shown me that my bold goal needs to be getting paid speaking opportunities in the next 100 days. Yes, Em! Love it. Love it. I mean, you're already a sought after inspirational international speaker. So kind of let's aren't you? Right? Paid handsomely to the list. That's better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. Yes. Brilliant. So Jen, maybe is the bold goal something around the beta testers? Oh, you've got your beta testers ready. Okay. Anybody else want to share? What else have we got on the old slides? Okay, yeah. So you can think about it is this is an opportunity. Is there another human being that could accomplish this goal? If yes, then it's also possible for me. I always went for the flashy things, work, money, health. I have to admit that this time I need to go after the mindset. Yeah. And that's why it'll be different. This is why it'll be different. This is an identity-led process, which is very different and is why it's so powerful. But it's not speedy, you know, it's a process that you're changing here. Like every single one of my clients and me, which is blows my mind, is that we go, oh, I'm different now. Like I'm different now. I don't judge myself when I have a procrastination day. I don't, you know, it's not about that. There's a different approach, and it's you know, we talk about something called my favorite self protocol. We're not aiming for my best self who's 100% nailing it because that's not reality. But my favorite self, when I'm more her than I'm not, and she does certain things that she does, it's different. Yeah, and the mindset is going to impact absolutely everything. And that is really what Meant for More is about. You know, like any of my testimonials, people will say, "Oh my God, this is so much more than you know, money or business. It's a lifestyle thing." Yeah, my favorite self protocol, huge part of the 100 days that we do together. For me, it's, you know, and I have done all of the modalities And the thing that has really made the biggest impact is just like keep choosing to show up as my favorite self more than I don't. Thanks for mentioning stepping into CEO role is the strategy. What's the goal? I'm thinking that stuff I want to do for Wild and Wise is the strategy. A goal may be more around transitioning to a seasonal business with lots of time off in between rounds, rather than my current boogie business where I'm working 50 hours. I mean, your bold goal could be that I take 4 weeks off a year or 8 weeks off a year, or like you could choose that, which is very, very achievable then when you change it to that. The point is, it's bold, it's different. It doesn't have to be like, we want it, remember, we want it to be in the discomfort zone. It's like, what? I can take time out. Yeah. Right, for 1 hour every day, Monday to Friday, and get back to sending out one Substack post every fortnight for 3 months. It's a small goal because my capacity is restricted by health challenges, but it's bold for where I'm at the moment. And also, the one thing that this girl, I know her writing, the one girl that this girl does, no, not one thing, you do amazing, lots of amazing things, but she's an amazing writer. And so the ripple effect from you saying, like, I'm going to show up and write again, well, we know that that will impact so much. It will also make you feel like you're you again. And, because I know you've had health challenges, you're going to feel like I'm back, I'm me again. I feel like this is the whole point of the bold goal because it's so attached to us, it's so personal. We feel alive. I feel like with my book, because I'm having to dive into my own concepts and principles and use them, right? Is that I feel like I feel alive, I feel excited, I feel activated by it. It's so this is what the bold goal will do because it's about us. So I love that. I want to finish my historical novel and send it out to beta readers. It's scary because editing on my own is so much safer. Yeah, exactly. We don't do safe anymore. We're here for bold. Yes, only working 1 to 2 hours a day. Yes, okay. Um, Love it, guys. Right, at what cost? None. I've got rules and conditions for my around my goals. My health comes first. It has to be fun. I have to have a spacious calendar. I don't want to work 7 days a week. It's got to be fun. Again, because important, right? These are the rules. I have rules and conditions and rules to live by. And this is all part of the protocol. This is all part of the identity, which is a big part of what we do in when we work together. So commit to a bold goal. That decision alone is going to set things in motion. Those of you that have shared, you can already see, oh, right, okay. So what that means is this. And I'm excited because I know what comes next, right? So making it real. Tell someone if you feel you can either email me or share it here. What's the first milestone? So what we're going to accomplish between now and the 12th of April, which is 1 month. So you can either use a habit strategy like Andrea's saying, I'm going to write 1 hour every day, or it might be a specific thing. I've published XYZ. Love this, Joe. Really learned through you that my goals allow me to be my favorite version of me, and that benefits my family too. Yeah, and it feels freaking amazing, right? That's the thing I get so excited about. I'm like, can you really? Is this? Sometimes I do laugh. I'm like, this is my business. I get to talk about all my favorite concepts, but I'm like, they're the things that have impacted me, and obviously all of you guys too. Thank you. I'm loving it. So, meant for more philosophy is embrace the experiment. Okay, a really, really big part of it is embrace the experiment. Don't beat yourself up if you don't end up doing the thing you said you were going to do. I'm going to give you a little bit more info around like how to approach it. So, if you genuinely care about the goals, you're going to focus on the system. Great example of the system is I'm going to write for 1 hour Monday to Friday. I'm going to publish every fortnight for 3 months, right? And a reminder of, oh yeah, I was thinking, why have I put this here? So meant for more method, when we come back out, we're now looking at strategy. So the mindset was when we talked about identity, we talked about vision. Strategy now is about decide how you're going to do it, and then you take action. I love what you said on Substack the other day and in this workshop. It's not about the goal, it's about becoming the person you have to become to achieve the goal. Thanks for sharing that. That is probably the most important thing you need to take away from this. But you can't become her without setting the goal. So we have to set the goal. I'm like over a year ago, I set a goal to get 100 people and I'm not there. That's okay. I'm all right with that because I'm like learning that how to market my business differently, how to talk about it differently. The published author thing, probably not going to hit my deadline of when I turn 50. That's all right, because what's happening is I'm in motion and it's changing me. You've got to set the goal. And then we don't judge ourselves. The deal is we do not judge ourselves. We just stop. This is why we want to be reflecting every single week. What did I notice? Just what did I notice? Get the awareness. What do I want to choose or decide? It's a really exciting process, but it's simple, but it's not easy. So strategy wise, so many people don't set the goal because they're not sure how to do it. They don't know how. We don't need to know the how, right? The only because we don't know it, right? You don't know what action is going to work yet. So the how only comes when I think back to any of the goals that I've achieved. I only know the how by looking backwards on how I achieved it. You guys know the same with your own goals. So we pick a strategy, we try it. You pick. You might notice that that particular week his schedule didn't work. You're like, I actually don't want to do Monday to Friday. Or you try to do it in the morning and you realize, no, I need to do it. For me, my exercise, I notice if I don't do it in the morning, I say I'll do it later. I don't do it. Right, I know this about myself. I can, I'm only knowing that by stopping and reflecting, by experimenting. So, what is the first experiment that you're going to try? And the best strategy is to become the type of person who shows up for the goal, who figures it out. And James Clear talks about don't focus on achieving the goal, focus on the system to get you there. This is what really is different about identity-led productivity, the whole bold 100-day system. Is we set the goal is important, it gives us direction, it helps us make decisions, but we've got to focus on the system. I've experimented with lots of strategies being in bold moves and realizing this all about developing self-leadership. So the absolute overarching thing is that we are learning how to lead ourselves, which we didn't know before. And I mean, talk about if that is the purpose of the goal, that it teaches us that is how any goal you set in the future will be able to be achieved. And this is like the evolution of the work that I've been doing for all of these years. It feels like, oh yes, right? So bold is a 100-day system. It's been tried and tested, not just by me, but actually hundreds of other people setting goals. It's also accountability. You also get a one-on-one weekly mentoring, and there's an optional community if you want it. And let's be really honest here, picking something and going for it for 100 days is actually quite difficult. You will want to change the goal. I mentor my ladies every single Monday on Telegram, one-on-one. The amount of them that want to change the goal, right? I wanted to quit my goal so many times, right? The work is now becoming the woman who follows through, who leads herself. I'm in bold now and I love it. Oh, hello, Charlie. This is why it's useful to do this with a coach, right? Because you'll want to change the goal and we'll be able to then check in around, whether or not it is right to. Sometimes it is. So this workshop is to celebrate bold. It's now open for enrollment. The next 100 days is open for enrollment. I'm going to put the link here. Nope. I'm going to do some tapping with you as well. But let me just whiz through these slides. So bold is a bit of an intervention and you're invited. Like I said, some of you will be like, I've got my goal, I'm off. And that's absolutely cool, right? I am totally available for that. This is my whole part about generosity. I'm going to give you everything. And some of you know that you're like, no, I need the accountability. I want the support. I want the energy. So bold is, we're going to do a little tap at the end, but for EFT tapping is what I mean. But I'm going to quickly share with you. Right, it's a flexible system. It's been battle tested, and I'm really, really proud of the level of support that I'm able to offer you guys at the price. You'll be surprised. So first, you need a bold goal. We got that today. The goal activates the identity. Your identity determines your behavior, who you are on a daily basis. Your behavior creates your results. So bold is a self-leadership system that implements all of this in real time with me supporting you every week for 100 days. We're not doing tap dancing. I might get you to just show up and do some of your Zumba. And this is what it goes through, right? Okay, I'll tap dance with you. Love it. Identity upgrade. So we start there. Decide who you're becoming in this next chapter. Bold is built on identity first. It's exactly what makes this method different from anything you've tried before. Then we do vision alignment. I said it's not really a one-step, two-step, but these are the options. Get clear what you're building next. Then make sure that your bold goal is directly in service of it. We don't want you working in the wrong direction. Then we got the bold goal. So I put here, all through these slides, there are little pieces of my vision board. because I want to go to Japan. So there's pictures of Japan, like there's all, and I'm using like a lot of the vision board stuff in my presentations. So of course, 100 days, 100 people. So you choose your goal, one that stretches you, one that scares you a little, one that matters that you finish. Stake in the ground, right? I'm going to figure out how to be someone who follows through on this. You're going to believe in yourself. And then the main part is we build your personal operating system. This is the system that you're going to use for every goal, right? It's what makes you follow through inevitable, because basically my clients struggle with following through. Um, and then we then spend 100 days. This is where it really gets real. It's not practicing, you're not just practicing in theory, you're using the system on your actual goal, inside your actual life, with things that are going on. Everything's going to, like things happening. And this is where something shifts, because we're doing a thing, right? When life is full, when it's loud, when there's a lot going on, when it's imperfect, you're practicing becoming the person who does the thing. And then you get your proof, right? Proof to yourself that you can follow through, finish what you started, carry that trust into everything that comes next. So that is the process. You, after 100 days, guys, because like it or not, like accountability does work, right? And it is not a Facebook post. We don't have a Facebook group. It is one-on-one with me on Telegram, okay? And it costs basically a coffee a day. There's weekly one-on-one mentoring and accountability. So every Friday you get an email from me. You fill out your check-in accountability form. Every Monday I will personally review it, and then I voice message you thoughts, strategies, mindset shifts, anything, whatever you need, right? So you're not alone, okay? And then there are the monthly and quarterly workshops. So the next workshop is the quarterly planning workshop, which is on the 25th of March, which is why I've opened it now, so that you can make use of that. We've got some bold AI coaches, which is very exciting. So there's a bold goals coach, an AI coach to help you get clearer on your goal. There's the planning coach, the favorite self protocol, so you can use that to really figure out what yours is. And then, of course, there's the Get Bendel self leadership coach. So if you're having any wobbles, you can go in there. They've all been trained by the Meant for More kind of methods. There's an EFT library so that you can shift any of the stuff that comes out. And the investment is, so it's 100 days and it is £495, or you can pay in US dollars. I'm going to put the link here for you guys. Sorry. There's a payment plan. Actually, I've changed the payment plan. It's a 3-part payment plan. If you pay in full, you get a one-on-one activate session with me. Of course, one of the most supportive goal getter communities around. So we get inspired. It's optional. Again, it's a Telegram group. You don't have to use it. Not everybody wants that. So that's the question. Are you bold enough to put yourself in an environment where you can't get away with not doing it? It's not just about business. There are lots and lots of testimonials on the sales page. So feel free to look at them. If you've got any questions, of course, let me know. We've got time. So I'm going to come on screen and tap with you guys just for a minute. So for those of you, just follow along. You can't do this right or wrong. You can change any of the words. It's just a couple of minutes. We're going all in on the next 100 days. So tapping on the side of your hand. Take a deep breath. And then just follow along after me. So even though I've been waiting for the perfect moment to go all in, I love and accept myself. And I'm choosing now as that moment. And even though part of me wants to play it safe and keep my goal small, I love and accept myself. And I'm choosing to be bold now. And even though I've held back before, keeping one foot in, one foot out, I forgive myself. And I'm ready to be all in for the next 100 days. With a tap on the top of the head. This is my season. I'm going to go all in on this bold goal idea. No more half-hearted attempts. No more 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm fully committed to this. I'm showing up for my bold goal. And I trust what's possible when I do. I'm all in now. When I commit, things shift. Opportunities appear. The right people show up. Doors open that I didn't even see. This is the ripple effect of being bolder. My bold move creates more bold moves. I'm available for all of it. I'm ready for the ripple effect. I choose to follow through now, even when it's uncomfortable, even when I don't have all the answers. I trust myself to figure it out. I'm going to show up for this bold goal. See what happens. I'm committing to showing up for 100 days. I'm so ready now. Let the bold season begin, or continue for some of you. So just take a deep breath and just say to yourself, I'm all in on this. I'm ready for the ripple effect that showing up for a bold goal is going to create. I know is going to create. All right, guys. Thank you. I promised I wouldn't keep you more than 90 minutes. So amazing. How are we feeling? Let me know. You are. Thanks for coming. I love the fact that so many of my boldies are here. Just like, give me another activator. And if you're on the replay, obviously reach out if you've got questions. Jump in, start your 100 days, come and be part of the Q2 planning. Excited. Thank you so much for the space to refocus. Thank you. Feeling great. You're welcome, guys. You are so welcome. I'm going to stop record and then just do any kind of coaching or anything. Hang on. Stop record.